On a modern political map of southeastern Germany, the municipality of Turlacking sits comfortably within the borders of Bavaria. Just a few miles to the east, the Salzach River forms a hard international boundary, separating German soil from neighboring Austria. But if you visit the towns on the German side, the border begins to fade. People here share a dialect, a history, and a cultural aesthetic that looks distinctly Austrian. Locals call this area the Rupertiwinkel. It is a historical region that remains anchored to its past, even as modern national boundaries surround it. To understand why this pocket of Bavaria feels like it belongs in Salzburg, we have to look past modern nation-states and toward the forgotten ecclesiastical empire that actually built this region. In the late 7th century, St. Rupert established the founding footprint of the Archbishopric of Salzburg, a powerful religious state governed by the church. Settlements like Timerlocking were part of this early expansion, appearing in records as early as 788 AD, as church outposts built around sacred baptismal springs. The mountainous terrain surrounding the city of Salzburg couldn't grow enough food. Instead, the archbishops developed the Rupertiwinkel into their Kornkammer, the vital agricultural engine feeding the state. The church managed these fertile lands through a network of monastic infrastructure, using outposts like Hogelworth Abbey to oversee production and maintain spiritual authority. To protect this granary from Bavarian expansion, the archbishops built massive stone fortresses like Tittmoning Castle, turning this agricultural heartland into a stronghold. For over 1,000 years, the Salzach River functioned as the central artery of a single, self-sustaining ecclesiastical state. Faster, more urgent system. This system held firm until the early 19th century, when Napoleon's campaigns across the Alps destabilized the ancient power structures of Central Europe. By 1803, the prince archbishops were stripped of their temporal power. The church lost its right to govern the land it had spent a millennium cultivating. The final decision came in 1816 at the Congress of Vienna, where the major European powers gathered to redraw the map of the continent. Under the terms of the treaty, the Rupertiwinkel was severed from Salzburg and permanently handed over to the Kingdom of Bavaria. This diplomatic agreement turned the Salzach River into a hard international wall, splitting a communal landscape that had been unified for 10 centuries. The stroke of a pen created a traumatic geopolitical fracture, leaving the people of the Rupertiwinkel on the German side of a new artificial line. Today, after 2 centuries of Bavarian administration, the cultural ties to Salzburg remain visible in the towns of the Rupertiwinkel. Religious traditions like the Skapelierfest have drawn massive crowds to Tierlocking since 1798, persisting long after the political borders changed. This identity is also maintained through Aperschnalzen, a whip-cracking tradition that brings Bavarian and Austrian teams together to compete in the same rhythmic customs. Even modern municipal maps show that the current layout of the town still follows the agricultural footprints established by the church long ago. The region now uses this shared heritage to drive ecotourism, with cycling routes that cross the border to link the historic sites of the former ecclesiastical state. Governments can change the labels on a map, but the identity of this region was forged by the people and the land they cultivate, and that identity remains borderless.